Hey guys, MrPokke here, back with another video, and today we're gonna be talking about what to expect when you hit Union level 40 as well as Data Bank level 20. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into today's content. Subscribe! Alright, so spoiler alert, you are not hitting level 40. At least not today, not tomorrow, probably not even this week, especially for most of the players who are not going to be refreshing their stamina or consuming their crystal solvent, right? If you're not going to be consuming any of this, you're not hitting level 40. I think the current pace, because you do get like 1,000-ish experience from your dailies, you should be able to hit level 34, 35. Correct me if I'm wrong. My free-to-play chatters, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it should be around level 34 or 35 if you are a day one free-to-play with no refreshes whatsoever. I believe that because the amount of experience you need, they scale exponentially. So for example, right now I need 10,200 to hit level 41. Previously, I believe it was 10,000. So I think it scales up exponentially for the amount of experience you will need. Probably roughly 1-ish or 1.5 weeks more before players can hit level 40, right? So what can you expect when you hit level 40 / level 20 for your data bank? So the most important thing is this right here. Upon hitting level 40, you unlock the requirements that you can proceed with level 19 / 20 data bank. This is the absolute biggest change because it changes your drop rates from a 50-50 for your 5-star and 4-star echo to an 80-20 drop rate. The reason why it is so important is because number one, if you are a overworld farmer, if you kill a lot of mobs in the map on a daily basis, right? Every single day you're going around exploring and killing the mobs, this will make your farming experience feel drastically more improved. But that being said, the drop rates for this echoes, they're still gonna be at 20%. But that, as long as you get more 5 stars, at least you will feel the difference, right? You will definitely feel the difference of a 30% bump of 5-star drop rate. The second reason, or rather, the another factor of why this is so good is that now even for casuals, if you're gonna be using these two functions, it will also improve your drop rates. So, first function is going to be your data merge. I've mentioned this in my top 10 beginner tips back then, when I made another separate video. Editors can kind of increase over here. Is that you shouldn't be using this function until you unlock level 19 / 20 because both of them is 80% drop rate, right? This is when, if you were to further your random echoes, you can get a 80% chance of getting a 5-star. On top of this, your data merge has a chance of getting double or even triple the drops. And because of the way probability works, it is compounded. Right, it is compound every single time you get an 80% drop rate, 80%, compared to if you were to do data merge now or in the earlier stage, it's either going to be 50% gold, or worse, if you do it like super early, it's going to be you can't even get gold, right? So highly recommended to abuse this data merge function to get a lot more potential 1 cost and 3 cost main stats. For the casuals, it is infinitely important because the odds of you getting the right main set is very difficult compared to the players who are farming the overworld on a daily basis, right? If you want to see my results for farming the data merge, I think you can check it out here. I'm not sure if my editor will bring this video up before or after, but let's see how it goes. But these are my results for using the data merge function, right? So that's number one. Number two is that these drop rates, they will also affect your Tacet Fields. So if you're going to be farming Tacet Fields, which consumes stamina, 80% 5-star drop rate will be affecting the number of 5 stars you're getting from your Tacet Fields. I'm not sure if you guys have listened to the previous video, which is devs listened again. They will be improving your echo drop rate in the future going to patch 1.1. I would recommend when you reach level 40 to not farm echoes first because they've mentioned that they are improving the drop rates for echoes in Tacet Fields, right? So we'll see what are the improvements for version 1.1, but we know for a fact that they are not making any changes to your character traces, your character experience, your weapon experience, and all that kind of stuff, right? So because we know that these drops or your boss ascension, they are not changing, it would be ideal that upon hitting level 40 to spend your stamina first on your traces, your experience, as well as your ascension materials instead of spending it on echoes. Even without the update of version 1.1, you should still be spending it on these traces first because, like I mentioned way back then, guaranteed progression will always take a higher priority over probable progression, right? Your echoes, they're always probable, right? There's no guarantee they're gonna get the right main stats, right? This, there's no guarantee you can get god tier subsets. Whereas for your guaranteed progression, like your traces, your weapon experience, your weapon levels, as well as your unit levels, they are all guaranteed. So it is highly recommended to do those first instead of echoes, and then wait until patch 1.1, which is roughly happening around 24 days from now, I believe, right? It's the 28th of June. Then go ahead and spend your stamina on your echoes, because by then it will be assumed that you have farmed up your traces, you have farmed up your weapon experience, you have farmed the unit experience, you've ascended your team of 3. Then you can now happily go ahead and farm up your echoes from level 40 to level 50. The gap from level 40 to level 50, I believe, is also going to be quite long. It took me roughly 1 week of max refresh to get to where I am, as well as a little bit of the little caskets, right? So level 40 to 50 is probably gonna take, assuming that they add up exponentially, 2 weeks, if not even more. So for casuals, that's going to be even longer. It would be ideal to just go ahead and just farm your tracers. And then for the remaining stuff, like I mentioned, don't pre-farm, because upon the next level, you're also going to get improved drops, right? So don't pre-farm, and then you can dump a little bit on the echoes and see what 1.1 brings to you, right? So that's going to be that for the stamina allocation suggestion with regards to like echoes or tracers or whatever. So talking about the progression, or like how much more do you get from your echoes, your tracers, and your ascension materials. So if you go into any of the trace mats, right? If you go into your trace upgrades, you'll notice that there are gonna be different levels, and the one you unlock at level 40 is gonna be level 70. So my editors, you can include a screenshot over here of what we got from our one run of level 70, and then you compare it with the one round of level 60. But basically, you get 1 purple, 4 of the blue ones, and 7 of the green ones, as well as 1 additional blue ring, right? I believe that is the direct upgrade from level 60 to 70. So there's also a chance that you might get 2 purples. You might be able to get 2 purples, because I only did a singular run, and take that into consideration. So I would say the actual increase in drop overall, since 1 blue is equivalent to like 3 green, is probably roughly around 20 to 30%. Assuming you can actually get, you can also get a gold, or you can get gold. Okay, so there's a chance for you to get gold. So yeah, so I would say that the tracers at level 40, they are very, very appealing. That's why I say do not pre-farm your tracers, do not pre-farm your boss essential materials. Just go ahead and farm as much as you need. Then the moment you hit the next level up, then you start spamming all this, especially for tracers. And bring me to the next point, which is gonna be how much you're gonna be getting for your essential materials. I'm gonna refer to my very good friend, Bob Master, my man. He has made a tweet about this. This is gonna be the tweet for... Okay, let's talk about the echoes one first, right? So this is the difference for your echoes. So notice how you get additional 5 premium tuners, potentially more gold sealed tubes, and I guess a little bit more of the credits, shell credits. Taking into consideration, this is before we're getting the buff for the 1.1 patch. So I would say hold off on this for now, because this is what you will be getting as of right now before the buff. And the only the only thing that we're getting a buff for is the Tacet Fields. So I would say this is, as of right now, is going to be the change. I would say it is not that significant, because I think Fob mentioned sometimes the lowest drop for your level 40 Tacet runs could be even lower than your highest drops in the level 30 Tacet runs, right? The amount of experience you're getting. Although you're guaranteed more tuners, but the experience, you could quite literally get lower experience for like a low roll versus a level 30 high roll, right? So we'll see if we get any like significant changes by 1.1, but TLDR, this is gonna be what you're getting for your Tacet Fields at level 40, and it is not recommended to fund them until version 1.1 when they improve the drop rates. So the last thing that changes is gonna be the boss drops. So for all of your essential materials, particularly this roaring rock face from Monkey, for example, right? To my knowledge, as of Union level 30, you are guaranteed 2 of these purple materials. But at Union level 40, there is a chance for you to get 3. Note the keyword is a chance. Similar to how in Union level 20, there was a chance for you to get 2 purples. So at Union level 40, there's a chance for you to get 3 purples. Ultimately, I think the increase for this is not as high as Tracers, because Tracer, I believe you're pretty much guaranteed to get more at every single run. So if you're really, really unlucky, you just keep getting 2s, then the difference is not a lot, right? So this kind of brings us to the final conclusion of, or rather just a summation of what exactly should you be farming before you reach level 40, right? So now we know that echoes, they are getting buffed. So echo drop rates are getting buffed. You are definitely not going to be farming for echoes because they're getting buffed by version 1.1. Between your Ascension materials and your Trace materials, it would be ideal for players to pre-farm Ascension before they hit 40, and then the moment they hit 40, you go ahead and farm your Tracers. I believe, in my opinion, that would be the most ideal use of your stamina, because there's a chance you don't even improve for your Essential materials, but you're guaranteed improvement for your Trace materials. So by probability, it will be more beneficial for your stamina efficiency in order to pre-farm Ascension than post-farm Tracers. Another reason is also because the amount of stamina you need for your Tracers is 40. You only need 40 stamina for your Tracers, whereas you need 60 stamina for your Essential materials, which means that you would be able to do more Trace runs compared to boss runs, right? And therefore, the impact of reaching level 40, the amount of additional loot you're getting from the Tracers is going to be higher because you're dealing with more runs in the Trace domain. So, final conclusion, forget about Echo until version 1.1, pre-farm Essential materials for your main team, and then when you hit level 40, you dump everything into the Tracers, right? Because not only do you need your Trace materials for your skills, right? Your ultimate, your basic, your forte circuit, your intro skill, basically every single one of this, it will need this material. It will also need them for your weapons. So, and your weapon is going to be a big proportion of your damage output as well. So you also will be using your Tracers for your weapons, rather the treatment material. So generally, it will always be a good idea to stock up a lot of this. And going into level 60 units, level 70 units, you will also need, I believe, gold upgrade materials. You also need gold for your future Tracers as well, right? And you'd also unlock the third major trace. And for a lot of these units, their third major trace is very. So for example, one does such base attack recovers 1 resonant energy, and this effect can be triggered once per second. Some of these third major trace, it is game-changing major traces, right? So for example, Verina's third major trace, it is a revive. Yep, she is basically Bailu. This revive is gonna be really comfortable, especially for the casual player base who are probably facing a lot of issues, even myself included, right? Sometimes, even the hardcore players, if you get one shot, Verina's revive is gonna be insanely comfortable. Maybe not from a DPS perspective, but from a purely comfort standpoint alone, this trace will change everything about Verina. This makes her really good. That's why I say a lot of units, their major trace are like game-changing. Reduce damage. Maybe this is not that important. Let's just do like a GN's one. For example, GN's major trace is gonna be increase crit damage by 12% for any attack. So you basically have a permanent 12% crit damage buff. So a lot of these major traces, they change everything. Maybe not change anything, but like they do change a significant portion of a unit's kit, right? That's why Tracers are gonna be extremely important for your upgrades when it comes to it. Oh, one more thing I kind of forgot is gonna be your weekly boss materials. So right now, it's a Sunday. If you are able to hit level 40 in the next week, so for example, you are at level 38 now, right? For example, you're a Dolphin, you didn't max refresh, you refresh a little bit. If you're able to hit level 40 by, let's just say, the middle of the week or the end of the week, it will be ideal for you to not do the boss domains until you hit level 40. Because I do believe you get increased drop rates from the Echoes of War. I'm not going to Echoes of War because it's Echoes of War. So you do get enhanced drop rate. Similar to how in Honkai Star, you don't want to do Echoes of War at the start of the week. You want to do them at the end of the week. So it would be good if you can save your chances until you hit level 40. But if you can't hit level 40 by the end of next week, then you can just go for the week after, right? But did Sarah say something? all free-to-plays should save their boss next week. They can hit level 40 if they use cubes. So, viewers, if you guys do not hit level 40 by the end of next week, you can feel free to destroy my mod Sarah, right? Because my Sarah said everyone hit level 40 by the end of next week. So, take it up with my mod. I don't know if it's confirmed, but take it up if you will, right? Okay, cool. So, yeah. I think one more point before we wrap up this video when hit level 40 is what exactly do you do with your crystal solvent? Should you be saving them up or should you be using them now to hit level 40? I think that's going to be our final question we're going to be addressing. In my opinion, in Wuthering Waves, if you are a non-casual, meaning to say you farm the world a lot, I believe it would be in your best interest to use them right now, or rather as much as you can, because the earlier you hit level 40, the earlier you hit 80% 5-star drop rate, and the earlier you hit 80% 5-star drop rate is gonna greatly increase your echo farming experience for someone that farms echoes in the overworld, in the mob domains, and everything, right? It will greatly increase your overall experience. Not to mention, we have discovered the Echo Hidden Pity system. So if you're going to be farming bosses, you know, you're guaranteed an Echo drop every other boss. Hitting level 40 means you can get 80% gold drop rates. But I do want to point out this one thing. If you're doing co-op with your friends, and they are not level 40, but you are, the co-op in this game, it takes the lowest player's unit level. Which means, if your co-op teammates are not level 40, you will unfortunately go back to the 50-50. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. So, not trying to create like an elitist, right? A barrier, right? You're better. But me personally, I'm not gonna be doing co-op if they are not level 40. So for my future streams, they gotta hit level 40 and then we can do co-op together, right? If you're not level 40, unfortunately, I'm not gonna be wasting my odds on my time dealing with 50-50, right? So, yep, this is just a small note, right? Okay, but back to the point ahead. Back to the point at hand. If you are a casual player, I would say there are benefits to saving them because of this right here. If you are a casual player, you will passively gain, what is this? 2,000, right? You passively gain 2,000 experience from your dailies alone. Which means the graph for leveling up. Let me do a little bit of pain here. So the graph of your leveling up progress, if you are a casual, you'll probably be like, okay, so this is like your level, right? And this is gonna be your days. So because you're always guaranteed 2,000 experience, right? You're always guaranteed 2,000 experience. So if you are casual, let's just give the casual the green color. Every single day, you are getting this amount of XP. Can I get? Oh my god. Okay. Yep. Excuse my inaccuracies, but basically you're getting this amount of XP, right? So you're getting this amount of XP every single day. So this is day 1. Holy shit, I can't draw. Alright, this is day 1, this is day 2, this is day 3. Alright, this is not level. This is XP. Alright, you are basically guaranteed 2,000 experience every single day. For the players who top up, refresh, use their solvents, or whatever it is, right? The amount of gain they do per top up is only slightly higher. Right? It is only slightly higher compared to the players who only use their dailies. Which means to say, the conversion of using your crystal solvents now, it doesn't exponentially increase the rate you're getting your level ups. So probably if you're starting at level like 30 now, and if you go all the way to level 40, maybe you take like 7 days. Maybe, right? Maybe. I'm just doing it. But if you do every single day, you do a top up, you do your refresh, you do your solvents, maybe for the paying players, maybe they only increase the progress by like faster by maybe 3 days, maybe. It is not a 1-to-1 increase, 4 to 5 days, right? Because the amount you get from the dailies is very, very high. It's 2,000 experience per day. So mathematically speaking, it would do the casual player base more good to save a little bit because you're going to be getting 2,000 experience guaranteed. You get what I'm saying? So since you are guaranteed 2,000 experience every single day, you can then technically save up all of your solvents to when you actually hit level 40, and then you can dump them and farm at a better efficiency. Do I make sense? Type 1 if we make sense. This theory will be wrong if upon reaching level 40, you get even more daily experience. I actually have no idea. So this theory might be wrong if at level 40 you get even more daily experience, because that was the case with Honkai Star Rail. In Honkai Star Rail, per union level upgrade, you quite literally get more Stellar Jades and more stuff at every single Trailblazer equilibrium level. So in Honkai Star Rail, it was in your absolute best interest to just dump everything as fast as you can because you literally get more Stellar Jades per level. But in this case, it's like, if it's exactly the same, then there's not much difference. There's not much difference, right? So that's gonna be the case, and hopefully this answers. If you're a hardcore player, if you're a refresher, you should dump everything now, level up to level 40 as soon as you can, so you can farm a lot better. If you're a casual, you don't really care about all that, you can save it up because you're eventually gonna hit level 40, not too far behind anyways, because you do get 2,000 experience every single day. Cool? Cool. With that, I believe we have come to the end of today's content. At level 70 units, I believe you're gonna have a much easier time clearing a lot of our endgame content, such as Hologram Difficulty 5, such as your Tower of Adversity, such as your Elusive Realm, right? If you're having any difficulties, levels will always be the end-all be-all of the direct upgrade in the gacha game, right? So, if you guys are getting stuck, don't think it's because you have dodged relics or you didn't get a 5-star. It's probably because your units are just not high enough level, right? So, looking forward to my future content where we are going to be exploring at level 40. And yeah, if you want to engage in any further discussions, head on to the Discord, Discord.g for the Pokke's Village, or join the comments below. Check my stream, that's twitch.tv for the Mitsukiyo. You do know myself, I'm streaming every day, check out on the Discord. So, that's all I have for today. All the best for your Jiyan and Yingling pools, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.